Check, check, check. And if we don't mind, ladies, we go ahead and just close that back door back there just so we don't have a echo from the Buzz crew. Hey, great to have everybody here. A lot of smiling faces. And let me tell you what, we've had some great guests this year. But when we get Razorback royalty in the house, are we not happy? Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. Two of the greatest to ever do it, Madre and Anthony Lucas. That's why I had to break out the old Razorback jacket that John Daly gave me. I'm so proud to be wearing this today. Feels a little looser today, just saying. Maybe making some progress. Got a great crowd, so great to have you guys. Got a lot to cover today. First of all, I thought last week to have the commissioner of the SEC choose to come here. He only does a few of these. Could you hit that door back there, Scott? Is that Scott? For the commissioner to come to our meeting, he doesn't do many of these a year. I thought he did about as good as we thought he was going to do. Can we give a round of applause for that? Thank you, Commissioner Sankey. He acknowledged the 18 penalties. You remember the term he used when he looked at it? You remember? He said he had a physical reaction sometimes when he looks at the box score. And that one he did, my friend, when it was 18-4. So anyway, so great to have Madre Hill and Anthony Lucas here today. Next week, Mac Brown, Hall of Fame coach, won a national championship with Texas, just one of the great guys. He's going to be part of our Ken Hatfield Sportsmanship Award. And then the week after that, we're going to do Mark May. So it's going to be a lot of fun these next couple of weeks. If we have time here in a few minutes, I'm going to announce the finalists for the Willie Rofe, Dan Hampton, and Darren McFadden Awards for high school. So that'll be exciting to do. I do want to thank Steve Qualls for all our T-shirts designed out there. Please order some Touchdown Club stuff. We'd love to have you wearing Touchdown Club logos, T-shirts, you name it. We want you to do that. I appreciate Design Labs and Hot Springs for that. We'll announce our pop-up winners here in just a second. Thanks to Rockstar Passes. They do a great job. Also, I am thinking about, I'm just going to throw this out there, December 19th, it's a Friday night, Christmas is the following week, thinking about getting a bus and going up to watch Terry Bradshaw at Branson. So I've done a couple weeks of that, a couple shows of that, and if somebody might be interested in going up there with us, we'll go up, come back, maybe get a Bradshaw recipe signed, book signed. If you're into bourbon, Bradshaw bourbon bottle signed by Terry. And then a picture with Terry Bradshaw. So if that's something you might be interested in doing, it's a great show. It's a lot of fun. We've done 2 shows. Holler at Debbie or holler at me. We may do that after the season's over. There's no bowl game. Yeah, obviously. Just saying. Now, ASU may get one. ASU may get one, but Arkansas doesn't. So anyway, if you're interested to do that, holler at Debbie or me, and we might include you on that trip. Reminder to the next 2 weeks, Debbie, want to remind everyone, the next 2 weeks, if you would bring non-perishable canned goods, anything you can think of. Her son runs Potlatch, and so they're going to be able to distribute those to the needy. So the next 2 weeks, if you'll be, what'd I say? Close. That's what I said. I was close. One's a timber company, and the other feeds the hungry. Not too much difference there. Potluck. Potluck. I say it on my show every morning, just off a few letters. That's all that matters. So potluck, right, Josh? There we go. Potluck. Excuse me. Davis, just goes to show you don't have to be perfect every day. You just do your best. So, yes, but Debbie's son does a great job of that. If we can help out these folks going through these struggling times next 2 weeks, bring something to the Touchdown Club. All right, got a great crowd here today. Got a lot of ground to cover. Listen, what I said last week was reported by the media. I realize the media are watching. Well, when I'm the media, what am I talking about? But they're watching, and so when I say things, it might get up to the hill, and I don't care. So here we go. So listen, nobody's asked me my opinion up there. Nobody cares what I think up there. So if I want to say something down here, I'll say something. So I might say something today. I'm just saying. Listen, all we want to be is the best, right? We want to be the best. I want Bobby Petrino. I want Hunter Yurachek. I want everybody to be the best. So if I say something, it's all in love. Say it, Roger says. Chuck Monan, our official minister of the Touchdown Club, the head minister of Pinnacle Church of Christ, please come up and give us a word of prayer, Chuck. Chuck Monan, everybody.
David, in your old age, you've turned into quite the muckraker. And you wear it well. We like that, brother. Tomorrow is Veterans Day. And just out of curiosity, let's have our veterans that have served this country stand up for just a moment, if you will. Thank you. We get to do stuff like this because they did stuff like that. And certainly what a blessing that is. And it's also the 250th birthday of the United States Marine Corps. Now, if you know any Marines, you know how important those people are. Well, because they usually tell you that. But I've got a bunch of friends who are Marines. And here's a quote from the former First Lady, Eleanor Roosevelt, about the Marines. She said, "The Marines I have seen around the world have the cleanest bodies, the filthiest minds, the highest morale, and the lowest morals of any group of animals I have ever seen. Thank God for the United States Marine Corps. And thank God for all of our veterans. We appreciate your service so very much." Let's pray together. Father, we're thankful for bringing us together today. We're thankful for the changing of the seasons and the way that it shows your power over this world and the universe. Father, we're thankful for those men and women who have served our country, who have served us, who have put themselves in harm's way. And Father, we pray that you bless them, that you bless their families. We're thankful for the way you continue to take care of us. We pray for our leaders, that they'll make wise decisions. We're thankful for the food and for all the good things that come from you. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
All right, thanks, Chuck. We'll do our drawing. Thanks to Rockstar Passes, Brad Rickett, Joey Gonzalez. Appreciate them. All right, the first one is for Madre Hill. The winner is 04236. Act like it's a Price is Right. Stand up and scream if you got it. 042. There we go. 3261. Let's give it up for the winner from Madre Hill. All right. Anthony Lucas, the winner is 0420301. Yeah, there we go. There we go. It's one of your future players, Anthony. How fitting. Young man, you put that in the living room. Let me just tell you. It's where you keep that until you start for the for Pulaski Academy. Looks like we mentioned the Terry Bradshaw. The Hatchers are in. Hatchers are in for Terry Bradshaw. They've already seen 2 of the shows. They're in. You're in for a treat for that. All right. Do want to thank our sponsors. First of all, thank you all of you who bought memberships. If you haven't bought a membership, buy a membership just to support the club. You know, just show your support. You know, it's what, $35, $50, $70, whatever it is. We appreciate it. All you folks who bought 50-yard line members, thank you so much. We couldn't do it without you. The Super Duper Club, all the benefits, thank you so much. And then we couldn't do it without our sponsors. Let's take them real quick. Simmons Bank, we have Richard Johnson and Chuck Talapic up here today. Great to have you guys. Still glowing after another recognized award from the PGA for the best tournament this year for the Tourist Champions. Let's give it up for them, the Simmons Bank Championship. George Macris is already sending out emails. Here's my new email if you want to get me, that I'm no longer a bank employee. Nothing like running a $28 billion bank and go, here's my email if you want to reach out to me. So, but so excited for George and what he's going to do. Chuck, Richard, great to have you here and all of our Simmons folks. Thank you for being the best presenting sponsor in America. Stevens, want to thank them. Of course, not only did they, present the Simmons Bank Championship, they did the Jackson T. Stevens Cup. And I was watching as Greg Sankey walked off, Rex, and talked to Warren Simpson, talked to Kevin Scanlon. Did you see what Sankey said? So I just jokingly had fun and said, Kevin Scanlon looks like a future AD. And so Greg Sankey stepped off the stage and said, Am I supposed to be talking with you today? That's all he said. I'm just saying, all joking aside, that's all it is. So thanks to Stephen and their great support. Appreciate them so much. Crane Automotive, so great to have the Crane group here every week. Appreciate you guys. Thanks so much to Chris Crane and Christopher Crane, Christian Crane rather, and all the folks over there. 19 dealerships, largest dealership group in Arkansas, 6,000 cars available. Thanks so much for Crane Automotive. Right, Lizzie and Jennings, great to have their whole crew here today. Judy, I see you, and that Coleman over there. Listen, I tried to recognize you last week, Charlie, and you weren't here. You weren't here. I was giving you, we all sang. It's glad you were not here. Okay, but great to have Right, Lindsay and Jennings, and their great support. We'll be working on the Cliff Harris Award coming up soon. Oaklawn Hot Springs and Oaklawn Sports, great to have Zach Gillum. I see Zach, you were here today. Zach has not fired me, even though my picks on the Oaklawn Sports app have been so bad this year. Have been so bad. Although I'm rallying, Zach. Kaylee, thank you. I'm rallying. I think I'm 11-5 the last 2 weeks in college. But, boy, just really tough to do this. But download the Sports app. It's a lot of fun. You've seen the commercials with me and Roger. We have a lot of fun. Thank you so much for your support. Racing begins really soon at Oaklawn. Won't be far from that, so we're excited about that. Summerwood Sports, the Hendricks family, thanks so much to them and what they do. And not only do they do the Touchdown Club in so many different places in the community, the fact that you guys do the Brules Award and so many other things. David, and Doug, thank you so much for your belief in giving back. And so we can't do it without you, and we appreciate Summerwood Sports. And their commitment to our community. Double B Steve Lytle and GM Ed Light, we appreciate them. 34 locations throughout the state. Gas it, grab it, and go. Sissy's Log Cabin, Bill and Sherry Jones, and Carlos and Ben and all the gang at Sissy's, thank you so much. I can't wait to see the pictures of Holly Rowe and Kelly Finglass wearing their jewelry. Can't wait to see that. Roller Funeral Homes, Renata Jenkins Byler. 24 locations across the state. They've been a pillar of our Touchdown Club for a long time. The Hatcher Agency, who brings the most people every week to the Touchdown Club. Hatcher Capital Investments, Scoops, Twin City Limo, Finish Line RV. They are committed to the Touchdown Club, and we couldn't do it without you guys. Greg, Maddie, everybody, thank you so much. Appreciate your support. Advantage Service Company, Kevin Brooks, Matt Bailey, thanks so much. Residential and commercial sales and service for HVAC and electrical needs. Did we like the 30 degrees today? Did we like that? I sort of like that. No, got a couple of the idea. Kevin says yes. You better get those HVAC checked. That's all I got to say. That's what you got to do. Simmons Bank Arena. Michael Marion was brought down to earth after Mississippi State got a hold of Georgia this weekend. But that's okay. And Maroon 5 this weekend. Alabama coming up next. Riley Green as well. Thanks to Simmons Bank Arena. They will be on the buzz this week to hear all the updated concerts that are coming to town. Pulaski County Farm Bureau, Todd Dennis, Stephen Reichert, great service with great rates. Try them first. Thanks to them. War Memorial Stadium, 1948. They've been around. John Latch, Mark Pike, Kevin Crass, Shay Lewis. Appreciate them so much. Democrat Gazette. Wally Hall, Amanda. Is Amanda back today? Is Amanda? We missed you on your birthday last week. You rascal, you hit on a reason, but great to have you. We'll have an All-Arkansas Preps Player of the Week. Wally Hall today. I tell you, Wally has been just on fire about the Touchdown Club. If you read his article today, it involves the Touchdown Club a lot. We appreciate him and Amanda for all their support. 103.7 The Buzz. We've got the most talented man in American radio, Roger Scott, right there. There he is. He wants to stand up. Very nice. We have our producer, Josh Neighbors, here. And, of course, out in the lobby, we have DJ Williams and Justin Aker. We appreciate their coverage. Nobody else does it like we do. AY Media, AY Magazine, Arkansas Money and Politics. Great to have Heather Baker back. Missed you last week, Heather. Great to have you. Appreciate all your support. Arkansas PBS, Anita, Brian, Kevin, Tanisha. Appreciate so much all your support of what we do and making sure we have a great product. Nobody in America has what we have with them back there. We appreciate that. And last but not least, JF Media Marketing. True story. So Alicia Dover, who has been doing our media, where we get millions of followers when we push out what they say. So Alicia, I think one of the quotes from Holly Rowe about how she got to be in the business is right at 1 million. And remember, she went down to MENA and gave a $10,000 check to a cancer survivor, a softball player. And I had told Alicia, I said, Alicia, if you can get down there, go down there and cover that because nobody else is doing it. She was able to do that. And Holly Rowe now is talking to her about the possibility of covering the Heisman Trophy for Holly Rowe. How about that? Because of J&F Marketing Media. How about that? One of these days, they're going to be too expensive for us to afford them anymore. They're going to go, sorry, Bass. We're moving on up to ESPN, the big, and Jeremy, her husband over there. But they do a great job. We're really excited for the great work they do. Of course, the Doubletree Hotel, we got the best hotel in the country. Nobody does all these things like Doubletree does. We got the best staff. They're so good. Sunbelt Convention Services, Tim Glasscock, Rockstar Passes, I mentioned earlier. Do want to thank our new sponsors, Midtown Plumbing. Started back in 2013. They're based out of Benton. Haley and Jim Coleman and Kyle Jackson, thank you so much. Started with just a couple of employees. Women-owned businesses that we love. So thanks to Midtown Plumbing. And, of course, Arkansas Surgical Hospital. Dr. Sam Moore, I think, is here today. I don't know where Sam is, but there he is, Sam. Great to have you here. I just saw you a second ago. Great to have you. What an amazing facility they have at 5201 North Shore Drive. You need to come more often, Sam. Yes. Less work and more here, right? There you go. But what an amazing surgical hospital they have over there at Crystal Hill Exit, North Little Rock. And finally, Arkansas Spine and Pain, Dr. Qureshi, great doctors, 6 different cities, Benton, Jacksonville, Conway, Little Rock, Searcy, and Whitehall. Let's give all of them a round of applause, our great sponsors. Couldn't do it without them. Dwayne Duncan, I see, still taking pictures. I don't know why. Chris Kane, R.J. Hawk, Steve Sullivan, Steve Qualls, Davis Ford, the best volunteer team. And next week, we're going to introduce all of our volunteers by name because they deserve to be introduced by name. I just sort of gloss over them. And if it weren't for them, we would be in a mess because I couldn't do it by myself. But we literally have about 20 volunteers, and they're led by Debbie Wyman. Let's give them all a round of applause if we can. All right, we got to introduce our All-Arkansas Preps Player of the Week. We don't have many left. We're getting into playoff time. Give it up for State Representative R.J. Hawk.
Well, as Baz mentioned, it is playoff time. It starts this week, and our award winner this week came 3 hours from Prairie Grove to get this award today, and he is very deserving because Elijah Sugg from Prairie Grove 2 weeks ago against Gentry had 32 carries for 273 yards and 2 touchdowns in a 52-50 win over Gentry. I know, it's kind of crazy. He also wanted me to mention that he had an 18-yard sack in that game as well, that he did. But he was averaging 8.5 yards per carry in that game. Well, so then fast forward a week, and they went on to play Lincoln. He only played a quarter and a half, had 10 carries, 147 yards, and 3 touchdowns against Lincoln. He had a 14.7 yards per carry average in that game. So in 2 weeks, he's had 420 yards and 5 touchdowns, well over 10 yards per carry. He also this last week set the school rushing record with 1,502 yards rushing. They play in the playoffs this week. He's got to get back for practice because they play Heber Springs. Your All-Arkansas Preps Player of the Week is Elijah Sugg from Prairie Grove.
He's a big old boy. All right, before we bring Rex up, Anita, if we can, you know, I had a weekend off of Razorback football, which was actually nice for all of us. But I did happen to see the amazing ending of Ouachita Baptist. For those who missed it, there are 2 calls we need to hear. They're down by down 3 with a minute and a half to go, 70 yards to go. Fourth and 20. 4th and 20. With the third string quarterback. Thank you, Rex. He set it up for me. So it's only Rex Nelson. We've got the Sully Award coming up again this year in addition to all of our other awards. And Rex can't keep winning the Sully Award, but this is probably one of them. So we're going to hear the call for the play that makes the game change and then the ending of the game. So Anita, if you'll hit it for us, please.
1:21 left in the football game. Trips to the near side. 1 man to the far side for Walker. Walker steps up. hurls it down there. Got a receiver. Caught. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Promised land. Carter McElhaney. No flags down. Touchdown. What?
This is Cloud in Purple. Rex Nelson, everybody.
Well, it is a church-related school, right, Pigskin? Little Lazarus coming out of the grave in purple grave clothes. That's okay, right? Oh, wow. Thanks, David. So we will wrap up what was, for me, a crazy weekend. No Arkansas game. Hope you got out and saw a game over the weekend. Unfortunately, Arkansas State's 4-game winning streak came to an end. Just too many turnovers. A close one. Southern Miss 27, Arkansas State 21 in Jonesboro. ASU had a pass intercepted in the end zone on the final play. If they'd hit it, it would have won the game. That was one of 5 interceptions for Southern Miss. Southern Miss, by the way, leads all FBS schools in the number of interceptions this year, and they now have sole possession of first place in the Sun Belt West. ASU 5-5 overall, 4-2 now in conference. Jalen Rayner, their quarterback, 37 of 48 passing, 331 yards, 2 touchdowns, but unfortunately 4 interceptions. As Chris said, our D1 teams went 0-3 last weekend. UCA falls to 3-7 overall, 2-4 in the conference, 41-38 loss to Austin Peay at Clarksville, Tennessee. The Bears led 14-3 late in the first quarter before Austin Peay scored 24 consecutive points. And I'm not making this up. As they say up there, what happened? You got peed on. So Austin Peay gets it done. UCA came back, scored 17 consecutive points after that to retake the lead. But then Austin Peay got it down the stretch. UAPB, 4-6 overall, 2-4 in conference, a 31-28 loss in Pine Bluff to Florida A&M. Rattlers go to 4-5, 3-2. UAPB's through with home games. They've got to go on the road for their final 2 games. Division II, a little bit better. Arkansas schools in the GAC went 5-1 against Oklahoma schools. You heard Ouachita. I won't dwell on that, but I do have to tell you, because we love to promote Arkansas kids and Arkansas high school football, of course. Ouachita's starting quarterback to start the season had broken a collarbone a few games ago. His backup tweaked his ankle in this game, so they go with a very good but a true freshman, Jordan Walker. If you remember that name, he led Bryant to several straight state championships. Walker's pass that you saw there not only was right on target, I did have to mention, because he's got a strong arm, that was into a 30-mile-an-hour wind, going against the wind. So great future for him. The guy that caught the pass, also an Arkansas high school player, Carter McElhaney. He's from Greenbrier, so love seeing those Arkansas kids do well. Harding, still rolling, 10-0, 52-14 victory over 1-9 Southern Nazarene. This was the 3rd consecutive week, get this, for Harding to have more than 500 yards rushing in a game. The Bisons had 504 yards on the ground. They had 82 passing, which is really high for them in their option offense. Ranked number 2 in the country still. I think they've got what it takes to win a second national championship in 3 years. Henderson improves to 7-3, 43-35 over 6-4 East Central Oklahoma. Their good quarterback, Andrew Edwards, 19 of 23 passing, 237 yards. Arkansas Tech, 7-3. Their best season in a long time at Tech. They win 38-25 over 2-8 Oklahoma Baptist. Bryson Rowland carried the ball 31 times for the Wonder Boys, 172 yards and 3 touchdowns. SAU also 7-3. We've got some really good D2 teams. 16-14 over 4-6 Southeastern Oklahoma. That ended a 2-game losing streak for the Mule Riders. Only loser among the Arkansas schools is UAM. They fought a 2-8 after a 40-7 loss at 2-8 Northwestern Oklahoma. Hud Jackson, great guy, announced after the game he will be retiring as head football coach, but luckily he's staying in Arkansas. He'll still be an athletic director at UAM, but they're looking for a new head boll weevil, Bill Lawrence. I don't know if Bill's here today or not, so yeah, cough up the money and get a big new head boll weevil. Yeah, so there you go. He's looking for NIL. If you want to contribute to the boll weevils, there's your man to see. Now, our D3 teams and NAIA teams went 0-3. Hendricks lost 34-28 at McMurray. Lyon lost 54-10 to Texas Lutheran. Arkansas Baptist lost 77-6 to Louisiana Christian down in Pineville. Now, quickly, SEC, going to be a fun rest of November. Texas A&M and Alabama 6-0, Georgia 6-1, Ole Miss 5-1, Texas 4-1, Vanderbilt 4-2, Oklahoma 3-2, Tennessee 3-3, Missouri 2-3, LSU 2-4, Florida 2-4, Kentucky 2-5, Mississippi State 1-5, Auburn and South Carolina 1-6. Only one school without an SEC win. Not sure who that is. Now, we will go back to last weekend, conference games. Georgia, as David mentioned, beats Mississippi State 41-21. The Aggies still rolling, 38-17 over Missouri. Vanderbilt anchors down, 45-38 over Auburn in overtime. Alabama 20-9 over LSU, and Kentucky 38-7 over Florida. So still looking good in that AP poll. A&M number 3, Alabama number 4, Georgia number 5, Ole Miss number 6, Texas number 10, Oklahoma number 11, Vanderbilt number 13, and Tennessee number 21. This weekend, of course, Arkansas at LSU, Oklahoma at Alabama, South Carolina at Texas A&M, Florida at Ole Miss, Texas at Georgia, Mississippi State at Missouri. Here in Arkansas, Battle of the Ravine Week. Game day's not coming, but you need to. 1 o'clock, you want to get there about 11 because that's the walkover, as they call it. The unique thing, the only college football game in America where the visiting team doesn't fly to a road game, it doesn't bus to a road game, it dresses at home and walks to a road game. Really unique. So 1 o'clock kickoff, Cliff Harris Stadium. Also got Harding at Arkansas Tech as Harding tries to wrap up an undefeated regular season. UAM at SAU, and they're one of our sponsors, our friends out at War Memorial. Believe me, they work hard to come up with neat ideas. They've got a Division III triple header on Saturday. Austin College versus Centenary at 10 a.m., Hendricks versus Lyon, our 2 D3 teams in the state, at 3 p.m., and Texas Lutheran versus McMurray at 8 p.m. So, big weekend. Get out. Games in Arkadelphia, Russellville, Magnolia, and 3 here in Little Rock. Get out and see a college football game this Saturday. Thanks, everybody.
All right, thank you, Rex. Do want to acknowledge our special guests, Madre Hill and Anthony Lucas. Their wives are here today. Madre's wife is Jennifer. Please stand, Jennifer. Where is Jennifer at? Let's give her a round of applause. Please stand, Jennifer. She is taking over the family business, one of the oldest businesses. It's a funeral home Hubble Funeral Home, 125 years old. She's taking that over. It's a family business, and as if they're not busy enough, that's what she's doing now. But great to have Jennifer here. And then also Anthony Lucas's wife, DeVay. Where's DeVay? Let's give it up for DeVay. And I know we've got several mute that phone, of Anthony's coaching staff. Adam Thrash, Jamel Jones, Alan, I'll mess up your last name, Trey Adams, Russ Ellis. Please stand. Let's give them a round of applause, those that are here. Is it Amua? Close enough. That's sorry, bud. Just call you by Big Alan. That's right. Also, too, we have, I mentioned Russ Ellis, Director of Admissions at PA, Barbara Temple, who's a close friend of theirs. And also, we've got the 5th and 6th grade PA players that are here, brought to you by Nicole McGeorge. She brought them there. All you 5th and 6th graders, please stand up. Let's give you a round of applause. How about that? How about that? Good job of getting out of school, boys. Well done. All right. I want everybody to pay close attention because Steve Sullivan did an open for both these guys. I want you to watch the talent. These are two of the greatest Razorbacks to ever play. They're on the 90s. Both are on the all 1990s team. Both of them. They both played on the same team. Some people may not realize that, but both of them were two of the greatest to ever do it on the Hill. Let's take a look now. Sully?
1993, and Madre Hill ends a brilliant high school career by rushing for over 200 yards on a dark, rainy night, leading Malvern to a state title. He hit the ground running as a hog, averaging just under 5 yards a carry in his freshman year. He was a workhorse. His 45 carries in 1995 against Auburn is a Razorback record. And who could forget the South Carolina win when Madre scored a school record 6 touchdowns.
Here's a big hole. And Madre is at midfield at the 40, the 30, the 20, the 10. Touchdown, Madre Hill.
Fast forward to 1998. And Madre ends his Hog career by rushing for 699 yards and 7 touchdowns during the Hogs' magical run to an SEC West Division title. How many Hog receivers have run a hitch pattern and taken it 87 yards for a touchdown? 1. Anthony Lucas. As a freshman catching passes from Barry Lunny Jr., he caught 27 for 495 yards. Fast forward to his junior season, and Anthony became Arkansas's first receiver to crack the 1,000-yard mark in a season. Big plays, long passes. There was no one better than Luke.
Poitras in motion. Sterner, play action. Looking, pumps, throws down the middle. Touchdown! Arkansas! Oh my! Lucas goes up, makes the catch.
Please welcome 2 members of the all-decade team for the 90s, former teammates, Madre Hill and Anthony Lucas.
All right, check. Check your mics, guys, to make sure they're working.
1, 2.
Mic check.
All right, perfect. Hey, great to have you guys here.
Glad to be here.
Yeah, how about that? You know, in a
Beautiful
time
crowd.
when we've struggled, we've lost 7 in a row. It's nice to remember the Razorbacks are great, right? You want to remember that? These are 2 of the greatest to ever do it, right there, running back and receiver. So, first of all, not many people remember. And if we need to, back in the back with our staff, if we need to move people around for the camera, we'll be glad to do that. Not many people realize that you guys were on the same team. I think there's a perception because of injuries and things that you didn't play, but you actually came in the same year, recruited by Danny Ford. I think we got a picture of Danny there, Anita. Old Danny Ford. He recruited both of you guys and signed both of you guys in 1994. We'll start with you, Anthony.
Yes, we did come together. I had to sit out that year because of, you all know, that ACT test. I was ineligible. Actually, couldn't play that year in 94, but we came in together. Madre got the opportunity to play, and it was a great time. Oh, Danny Ford on that picture looked like he was yelling at somebody, getting ready to say something bad.
Madre, what was the, at that time you were superstar in Arkansas. You saw the, obviously the highlights there of you running. Was there any doubt at all that, of course, you remember what had happened. Jack Crow had gotten fired in 92. Yeah. You know, you bring in Joe Kynes and then Danny Ford. So it was sort of even with you, Anthony, but we'll start with Madre. Things didn't look real stable at U of A.
Yeah, at that time it was a little bit different. I had just became the #1 running back in the country. I think which was a blessing. Coach Alpy did a tremendous job with us to give me that opportunity. The players I played with in high school gave it their all, and I really appreciate everything they've done because I wouldn't have been able to achieve that goal without them. And so at that time, everybody got to remember, 1994 was a national championship basketball year. So everybody was talking about basketball. No one was talking about football. And when I would come home, there would be a line of cars wrapped around the block and Bobby Bowden and all these coaches there. And I just remember the people in Malvern and the people of the state of Arkansas, they said, hey, listen, if you go to Arkansas, we would never forget you. We would take care of you. And they have lived up to it, and I'm very thankful.
Anthony, you're from a place, if anybody's, listen, I've driven this quite a bit from Panama City to Little Rock, or Panama City to Fayetteville, Tallulah, Louisiana. How in the heck did you get from Tallulah to Arkansas?
God and Fitzhill. Fitzhill came down and recruited me, and you know, he was so consistent despite all the things I had to deal with, the ACT test, you know, and that's how I got here. He stayed consistent. Even when, you know, a lot of people some of y'all know my journey, but committed to UNLV coming out, signed with Louisiana Tech, a letter of intent, then came to the University of Arkansas. And all that was because of my ACT scores and, you know, had a lot of people bag off me. But Fitzhill was so consistent. Man, he even sent me my scholarship on signing day when I signed with Louisiana Tech and said, just in case you change your mind, we still want you.
So what was so for both of you, what was Danny Ford like? Now we'll get to Houston Nutt in a minute, but Madre, what was Danny Ford like? Because remember, he was just sort of we didn't know what was going to happen there. Frank Broyles brought him in to sort of help Joe Kynes, and wink, wink. Next thing you know, he's the head coach. What was he like recruiting you, and then that freshman year, what was it like to be under him?
Well, Danny Ford was the 7th coach in line at the door when I made it home that Saturday. Yeah, that Friday after the football game. And he came in, and my mom and dad are diehard Razorback fans. Now, I'm telling you, they live and breathe it. And so my mom sent all the other coaches away. So you sent Bobby Bowden and all these big name coaches away. And Coach Ford came in. It was kind of weird. He came in with some boots, and it was raining that Friday. And they were muddy. And I'm like, my mom is a clean freak. Now, I'm thinking, man, she really is a Razorback fan now. So he comes in, he puts his boots up on the table, and I'm thinking, oh my God, she's about to kill him. Now, we can't even have crumbs on the floor, but Coach Ford can come in the house with dirty boots. And I will never forget what Coach Ford said. He said, Madre, I'm just here because everybody else in the country is here. I don't want you. And he said, I like big backs. And he said, to be honest with you, you probably ain't going to rush for 1,000 yards in the SEC. Now, him and Coach Fitzhill Coach Fitzhill was a mastermind in recruiting, okay? He knew that I loved challenges. And when he said that, I looked at him and I'm like, what? Are you joking? Do you see all these people that come in? And you want me to not come? I'm coming to Arkansas. and that's how it started.
You know, it's so you had to sit out in 94. You come back in 95, and your first team all SEC. Look at the records. 45 rushing attempts in one game, which I think is still the record at Arkansas. You had 6 touchdowns, which is a record. That broke a old teammate of mine, Jesse Clark. 6 touchdowns rushing against South Carolina. You had 1,387 yards, which was an Arkansas record until Darren McFadden broke it about 12 years later. You had a remarkable year there as a sophomore.
Yeah, I was blessed. We had some wonderful guys like Anthony Lucas, Grant Garrett, Russell Brown, Verl Mitchell, Anthony Eubanks. We had a bunch of guys that really contribute to our team. Most importantly, they bought into the goal. The goal was to win. It's different back then. Back then, we wasn't really concerned with stats. We wasn't really concerned about who would get the biggest check. It wasn't no check. It was it was to represent the state of Arkansas and represent it well. That hog meant something to us. Nowadays, it really doesn't, you know. Now it's just an NFL symbol in college level. But back then, we died with it. We lived with it. We played injured and hurt with it. We loved the state of Arkansas, and we wanted to represent it the best way we possibly could. But to answer your question, Dave, yeah, it was a magical time. But to be honest with you, it was the people. It was the people in the stands that were just tired of being tired, you know. And the players felt the same way. And everybody came together on a Saturday, and everybody gave it their all. And I wish we can return back to those days.
Now, again, this is before your injury, so you were probably a 4.3, 4.4 guy. I mean, if you watched you in high school, I remember watching you in person in high school. You were a burner, obviously one of the tops in the country. What do you remember, Anthony, about Madre when you were watching him his sophomore year?
Well, when he dropped his head back, he was gone. I remember that he was very fast and just a true team player.
Yeah, I think, Anita, if we don't mind, let's punch up one run of Madre. I think this is in his sophomore year. What's the speed of Madre? If you get a chance to get to it, I'll give you a second. He was a guy that if he made a mistake, this is against Ole Miss, boom, watch. Goodbye. Goodbye. Look at that. You see his head going backwards? There he goes. Look at there. I mean, it's not even close. That is a 4.3, 4.4 guy right there. Here's another angle of it. Looks like everybody else is in slow motion except for Madre.
Y'all see me out there in that block, right? You young guys, y'all better see that. That's me out there that gave that little bit right there.
So, Madre, I did want to ask you this. You set the school record, so many school records, I think probably 14 that year. A lot of controversy, and I never have asked you this in public about when you went to the SEC championship. Remember, we actually have gone to the SEC championship since we've been in the SEC. Some people think that can't happen. I think we've done it 3 times. You tore your ACL early, and there was a lot of controversy about you coming out and then going back in the game. I don't know the story. Would you just set us straight on what happened?
Well, first of all, I would like to say that for Arkansas to be successful, it has to be homegrown. Every stud, we done been to the SEC championship game 3 times. And at the cornerstone of that has always been a stud from the state of Arkansas. We have to put a fence back around this state and make sure that we have a coach and an administrative that understands that we don't let ours get away, okay? Me, Matt Jones, Darren McFadden, that's 3 SEC championships right there, okay, games. But when I got hurt, I didn't know what had happened to me. I'm such a competitor. I truly believe whatever the doctors were saying, in that moment, I wasn't listening anyway. And I was determined to get back on the field. Now, whether the doctor said what they said or not, whatever it may be, I was going back out there regardless. I went off that field the way Madre Hill gave everything to the state of Arkansas. I was going to be carried off. I wasn't going to willingly walk off. I wasn't going to willingly crawl off. I was going to have to be helped off the field. And, you know, I look back on that career and, you know, and I see what my career could have been in DMAC And I'm grateful that another Razorback from the state of Arkansas was able to go on. I think he was robbed. I think it was wrong that he didn't win the Heisman Championship. It's never been done before. 2 times runner-up. It's unheard of. It's sickening, actually, when I think about it. But I truly believe that we have what it takes in this state. We just can't let it leave. One player from the state of Arkansas with a combined love of other players and the willingness to give can get us there. I truly believe it's been done.
So Madre, you have a great year, but then you basically missed the next 2 years. And so, Anthony, then you are left dealing with those Danny Ford years when, you know, it's bad right now. We're 2-7, but, there were some bad teams with Danny Ford, 4-7, 4-7, and you were part of that. Clarence Turner, I think, came in 97. What was that like during those Danny Ford years that were really down and weren't we 2-6 in the conference? What was it like?
Oh, it was very tough. You know, we had the talent, always knew we had the talent, but we struggled. And, you know, it started getting to the point where it was getting boring to us, and we would just feel like we would show up to practice and we would just get beat down as a players. Beat down. He hated us. You know, we felt like he hated us, and, you know, we didn't enjoy practice. And when you didn't enjoy practice, how are you going to enjoy the games? You know, and it was just a negative vibe, and it was a negative feeling. You know, he was a really good coach, like Madre spoke earlier. Had a great coaching staff who kept us encouraged, because if it wasn't for Fizz Hill, I probably would have been out of there. But you know, stayed through the thick and thin and hung it out. And when H came in there in '98, boy, I tell you, it was Christmas all over again. So I was very Coach Nutt, should I say. When he came, man, he just turned it around and brought us together.
Yeah, I asked Houston if he would, since he coached both these guys, because he did. He ended up coaching you in '98. So Houston Nutt sent us a short little message about both these guys. Let's take a listen.
It is a privilege to speak about 2 of my favorite Razorbacks, Madre Hill and Anthony Lucas. In 1998, when we first got to the University of Arkansas, I remember Danny talking to Dean Weber, and he was pretty positive about Madre being able to play one last year. And he's coming off a couple of surgeries, and his rehab has been very, very good. And he worked really hard. And so we were hoping, we'd have 1 year. We remember all his highlights from Malvern High School when he was coming out of high school, so highly recruited, playing for Coach Alpe. We knew how talented Madre was in high school and all the things that he did there for Arkansas. So we had 1 year. So we were hoping we could get through a year with a healthy Madre Hill. And, boy, he did not disappoint. Ole Miss game always comes to mind in Fayetteville. I thought he put on a show there. I had several big runs, a couple of touchdowns. And there was a couple other games, too, that he really showed his speed and quickness. And he could catch the ball out of the backfield as well. So it was a privilege. And Madre was a good teammate, good person, good teammate. And it was a privilege to coach him. Anthony Lucas, I had 2 years with Anthony. And Anthony, to me, is one of the best receivers ever to put on a Razorback uniform. One of the best deep ball catchers I've ever seen. The focus that Anthony has when the ball is in the air, he can go get the football. Just had a knack for going to get it. In traffic, didn't matter. Over the middle, but the deep ball, the post, all these games, Tennessee and the big games, Texas, Anthony always seemed to have those big plays. And what a receiver. But more importantly, what a great man. Oh, great husband, great father. And both these guys are. Both these guys have a tremendous work ethic, great character, great attitude, and they're just some of the best. So y'all will enjoy hearing from these 2 guys today. Take care, guys.
All right, you should not there. So you guys had to go from Danny Ford, which won a national championship at Clemson. He was the old Bear Bryant style, wear you in the ground, don't say anything positive. All of a sudden, you get this lightning bolt of Houston Nutt in 1998, who wrote "Let's Win a National Championship" on the chalkboard. Madre, for you, what was that like to see that infusion of energy and belief that the same team that was 4-7 that looked horrible in 97 could be better in 98?
Well, first of all, I knew that he was coming from a legendary family in Arkansas with a coaching background. I knew that he bled red regarding the Razorbacks, and it showed. As soon as he walked through the door, he felt home, which made us feel at home. He provided the love and care that the players needed at that time. Like I said, it was pounding 3 yards in a cloud of dust type of mentality, Bear Bryant, which, hey, it wins. Danny Ford won a national championship at Clemson and so forth. So it was successful. But when when Coach Nutt came in, it was just a brotherhood. It was love. It was the state of Arkansas. We're a small community when it comes to other states. So when we think about the Razorbacks, everything we think about is personal. It's not business. It's personal. When we lose on a Saturday, it's personal. And when you get somebody who doesn't understand that and write it off as another day at work, it ain't going to work. And Houston Nutt understood that, and you felt the passion, and it was personal. It was personal. Everything with Houston and Arkansas was personal, and we loved that and fed off of that.
Do you have any doubt in your mind, Anthony, when Houston came in and he was a talker? Did you believe him? Did you guys feel like you were talented enough? It's the same team that was 4-7 in 1997. When he's writing national champion, did you believe the Grant Garretts and the Brandon Brolesworth? And did you guys think you had the talent to do what you could do in 98?
Yes, I knew he had the talent. I mean, when he first walked in that first day, how his swag, and he came in the room and he asked all us to stand up. You go here, you go here, you go there. And we looking around and, I'm like, what's going on in here? So what he was doing, he was dividing up. He kind of felt the cliques in the team, amongst the team at the time. But he made everybody sit differently, and he brought us together. At that time, David, after the things that we went through, you would believe anything then. So, yes, I believed in it. I loved his energy, man. And, Coach Nutt, and he would tell you like it is. And when he walked, and after that, when he walked into meetings day and day after, he was the same. And he made us feel like we were something.
Even though, Madre, you were talking about Arkansas, which you got to have, it also takes, because Arkansas is not a big enough state, to get key out-of-state players. Anthony Lucas, Clint Sterner, Billy Ray Smith, Steve Atwater. And you guys had Clint Sterner that came in there, tough guy, yes. Competitor. And so the ingredients were there. It was just working hard, executing, having the right coaches.
Yeah, it was just bringing us together, making us, feel like we were something, that we knew we had the talent, but we just had to put it together. And guys, I'm going to be honest with you. Everybody was in cliques. We were selfish, in some way, form, or fashion. And he got his staff to believe in what he was bringing to the table for us as a team to bring us together. And all we had to do is just go out there and execute. We love playing for him.
Yeah.
That was the difference.
And another thing was, during that time period, Arkansas first team can compete with anybody in the country. It has always been that way. Okay? Even when it was DJ, when it goes back. We can go toe-to-toe with anybody with our first team. The problem is depth. It's always been depth at Arkansas. And that year when Houston came in, we had a class that was injured, our class, that folded over into Clint Sterner's class, which gave us a 1-2 punch, which was very rare at the University of Arkansas. So the first team running back, the second team running back can go off in there. The wide receivers, we had offensive line, we had defensive line. Honestly, I think 9 or 10 guys off of that team played in the NFL.
Yeah, I know off of that 98 team.
Which was the biggest class of NFL players at that time. So it was very rare. And then we had the perfect coach leading that. Man, it was a perfect storm.
So the question is now, hey, worth a round of applause. Sure, let's give it up for what a great team that was. So different day, different game, different day. You're in it. You're coaching high school. High school players are getting hundreds of thousands of dollars to go play. Can Arkansas still get in the midst of all this money, and whether it be the high school to college? What's your assessment as a guy? You've won 2 state championships as a high school head coach, 6 as an assistant coach, 8 total state championships at Pulaski Academy. So what's your assessment? You know, Arkansas is getting ready to hire a new head coach next year. What's your thought? Can Arkansas get back to a championship level with this money issue and with, you know, not as many athletes here in the state? Give us your assessment.
Yes, they can get back there. We was talking earlier. The thing is with the money issue is you don't know how the locker room is. And you get a chance to go in there and you all don't know how those locker rooms are now when you involve money. I'm sure that there are guys in there thinking that they should make this much and they should make this much. And I think that has carried over to the football field. You can't have that. Everybody got to be on the same page and want to play for the love of the game and not for the love of money. Because if you go out there and execute on Saturday, the money's going to come. So we need a coach in there to get these guys. First of all, we got to bring the fight song back. There's a lot of those kids up there don't even know the Razorback fight song. Are you kidding me? Seriously, they don't sing that. That's just the little things. The second thing is the kids gotta love to play the game and not be about the money. And we have to get a coach in there that can get these kids focused on playing the game of football and let everything else take care of itself.
Do you not counting Arkansas? There you go. Are there coaches out there that you see that are doing that right now? I'm not talking about Arkansas. So you see the coaches that are connecting that way, and it's not just always about the money. I mean, you can look at Vanderbilt. You can look at Indiana. I mean, there are examples of coaches that aren't the ones that are typical blue bloods.
Yes, they are, and they're doing an outstanding. You look at Lane Kiffin too. The players love him. I mean, we need that players coach. And there's ways that you can manage that with the kids nowadays. I know like Madre, we talking. It's a different day and time now. When you're throwing that much money at a high school kid coming out of high school, getting ready to go his first year in college, you throwing those big dollar signs out there. Yeah, your eye's going to get big. Your ego is going to get big too. But you have to be able to control those things and understand that money. I mean, I'm probably not going to get a lot of that money if I don't go out and produce on Saturdays. But now you got kids that are, I got to make this, I need to make this many plays, or I need to play this many plays and do this much. And if I don't get this much money, then I'm out of here. It's different. It's a different era that we live in. Madre. Yes, I missed that money, but still.
Madre.
Well, hey, we're very proud of Anthony. He's a successful coach. It's always good to see Razorbacks doing well. I'm personally proud of him, and I just want to tell you that.
I don't do it by myself.
I know you don't, and that's why we love you. When I'm looking at the University of Arkansas from a former player, a former coach, and a businessman.
Because you did coach in college.
Yeah.
3 different colleges.
Yeah, with Sperrio, my God. But I'm looking at it from the standpoint of where we are right now and what the state is. Okay. And it's different looking at it when you're in the state of Arkansas and when you're traveling outside. If I'm the AD, which I think that you should be, Basil. Yeah, I think you should put your name in the hat the next time it's open. I think that you stick with Bobby. And this is the reason why. If you reset and hit the reset button, first of all, you got a coach who wants to be there. And I have been around several coaches, and there's 3 different types of coaches, okay? You got the coaches with the ego. When they walk in the room, they want the win to be taken out. And that's your Steve Spurriers, your Bobby Bowden's, your Urban Meyers, your Nick Sabans. Okay? Bobby is one of those. Okay? Secondly, you got your recruiter, who's great at recruiting. He can do that. And then you got your stabilizer, Coach Pittman. Okay? So you got to decide what you want. I honestly think we are in a time period where we have to have someone take the breath out of the room. Okay? And Coach Pittman, Coach Petrino is that guy. Now, this is the month of November. It's Thanksgiving. You can't ask the man to come in your kitchen and cook Thanksgiving meal and expect it to taste good. Okay? It just doesn't work that way. You have to allow him to cook the Thanksgiving meal with his recipe, with his seasoning, because when he did it, we ate well. We got fat. We had seconds. So if we're going to judge the man, let's judge him right. Let's give him the right opportunity to do what we know he can do. Now, you're asking somebody else to come to the state of Arkansas, which is very unique in itself. I mean, we're not like other states. And then you're expecting him to win when we know we got someone who's proven, who wants to be here. That means his ego is not going to let him lose. The man is about to kill himself on the sideline each and every Saturday because we're losing. But he cannot recruit right now. He cannot stabilize the bleeding of the defense. Give him that opportunity. And I think that this will be one of the proudest moments in Razorback history.
You want to stay?
Well, I mean, I like Coach Petrino and what he brought. I'll never forget, me and my wife went to the Sugar Bowl. She was pregnant. I'm like, we going. Because I wanted to go watch our offense. Right. And the one thing about Coach Petrino is, he's aged a little bit, but I've heard from a lot of players the relationship building with the players. That's important now, man. I'm telling you, we live in a different day and time, and you have to have relationships with your players. I never want a player to come in my office scared. I want to be able to go talk to my college football coach. You got guys that come from broken homes. If he feel like he can't go talk to his head football coach on the collegiate level about anything, then we have a problem. So that's the only little problem that I worry about with Coach Petrino. But when it comes to X's and O's, he's good. He is really good. So I love that. And again, we need a coach like that who's going to really be involved and involved in these kids' lives as well, because it's the little things that matters, that make big things happen for you.
Of course, Arkansas has got to raise the money. You saw what Texas Tech has done. I don't know if you saw, Texas Tech's defensive line was paid $7 million this year.
I want to say this. Can I say this too? Y'all know Arkansas has a lot of money around here. There's a lot of money here in the state of Arkansas. So
there's a lot of money in this room.
And I don't want to. So when we talk about,
I see some faces.
Coach Hunter Yurachek is kind of on that up and down. He kind of don't know what's going on. I know what's going on. There's a lot of money. There's a lot of great people here in this state too as well.
All right. So one of the things before we wrap up here is, so here's something I want to do. We know we lost Mike Nell a couple of days ago. Which I apologize. I thought I'd made a note to mention that. Mike Nell started basketball in '81 when I was a freshman. Great guy. Worked with his wife, who was in charge of all the cheer groups. We lost Dave England. We've lost Dean Weber. So here's something I want to do. I'm just going to make a commitment right here. Everybody gets irritated with me up on the hill anyway. So all these guys up here, if they won any trophies, any plaques, any jerseys, they're all sitting in a storage unit somewhere in Rogers. And Dean Weber told me, he said, David, I feel like and this might have been under Jeff Long. I don't know, and I don't really care. It's just I feel like they're dismissing everything that was done before 2000. So I don't know where the Grantland Hill Trophy is. I don't know where the Cotton Bowl Trophy of the 60s was. I think they're all in a storage unit somewhere. So here's the deal. I'm just telling you. I don't care if Hunter Yurchek wants to do it or not. But Chancellor, here's the deal. These guys and all of us who've played for the last 60 years, 75 years, we're coming for that stuff. And if you don't want to put them in the athletic director or the athletic department, we'll find a place to put them somewhere. I'm just telling you. I'm just telling you somewhere. All these guys, these great athletes. So I'm marking it right here to where Chancellor Robinson, if you want to put him in Old Main, if we're going to find a barbecue restaurant in Fayetteville, I don't care. But the history of this program is not being represented in the end zone complex that was built a few years ago. You walk by, you see 3-inch pictures of the greatest players. Remember when we were there, you'd walk by and you see these great trophies and all these different things. So Dean Weber said, David, please don't let them wipe away all the years of what we've done. So I'm making a commitment right now. If there's any of you wanting to help, we're going to get that done. And if the chancellor wants to put it on the campus, if Hunter wants to put it somewhere, it's not going to be in the stadium. That stuff down there in the concourse, we're not talking about that. But I'm just talking about when we get next to guys like this who have given us great memories, that's what we want to show. And I want fans to be able to go up there and remember the history of our program. I know it's about money and transfer portal and winning. I want to do that. But I don't want to forget the guys that we're standing on the shoulders of right here. All those folks up there that are making millions, including kids, they're standing on the shoulders of these players right here. So I just want to make a commitment to me. We're going to get that done this year. So
Appreciate that, Dave. Thank you, Dave.
That's huge that you say that because Madre mentioned this earlier. It's the foundation. You always got to keep the foundation. And those kids need to see all of that in the past. Things that has happened. I had no idea, Dave. No idea that was going on.
Dave.
Thank you for saying that.
we can all listen. We can get us a coach, whoever it is next year. We can raise all the money, but we also have to embrace our history. We have to embrace our history, and we're going to start doing that. And you can't ask for two better guys that were playing together. One were from Tallulah, Louisiana, the other from Malvern, Arkansas. They turned out taking a program. Listen, you took us to Atlanta. We went down in the tank. You helped bring us out and take us back to championship, playing football. And these are what makes the Razorback program great. Let's give a big round of applause. Anthony Lucas and Madre Hill. Thanks, guys.